do a heinous crime, I don't think they deserve to get murdered like that in a Coney Island. I don't know what they said to his woman or what, but he flipped out. So that's what Dog was saying, because it's like, I don't understand why a lot of women be saying they want a mean dude, you like rude dudes and all these different type of guys. And I'm saying, like, them guys be soft. A lot of them guys be getting beat up, sent to the store in the neighborhood, and all that be do boys.
I seen a post about that. Like,
yeah, he only beat you up.
And they made a comment saying, like, what did you say, like, can I talk to you or something? The things they be doing back and forth, like, in Texas, like, can I talk to you or something? And she was like, no, they be sending you back and forth to the store. Like, you the airboy or something, like, they be sending you back and forth to the store.
Like, one chick I know, she was like, she went around a dude, and they was chilling, and she was like, they kept telling him to roll. And then a chick was saying, like, she went over a dude's house and got disrespected by his cousin, and she got disrespected by his cousin, and she defended herself, and his cousin beat her up. His cousin was a male, and she was like, his grandma helped like break the situation up, and people outside helped break the situation up. And his grandma was calling him like a hoe and all that. There's a lot of dudes like that. And like the situation where I told you when we was together and I was doing Uber, and the guy was trying to beat on a woman, pull a woman out the car. And I'm like, after that situation and me and you had that conversation, I don't be getting involved at all in domestic situations. Like, that's some shit I'm not doing no more, because you never know. Like, you can lose your life over somebody and they still gonna be with the person. Like, that shit don't make no fucking sense. And then, like, when I talked to her, I didn't even look at her face. It was an attractive woman had got out the car. We was having a conversation. She a dancer. She had a man. She was on the phone with her man, and we all was conversing. The lady she did open the door, but I knew I had another ride, but I never had a ride where it was directly across the street, my next ride. So I guess she seen that, and I'm like, them your people. She like, nah. I'm like, she said my name, and I'm like, yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'm your next ride. I'm like, all right, cool. So the lady who was getting out the car didn't even make it around the trunk before the guy like grabbed her. I said something to a dude about a dog, and it was like all this happening at the same time while the woman getting out. Like, how old is the dog? Like 6 months. I'm like, damn, that bitch little. Next thing you know, she get in the car. Guy ended up, I think he grabbed her purse or something. He was yanking on her, like, is that the nigga? That's the nigga? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, dog, I'm Uber. She explained to him I'm Uber. I showed him my phone. Then I just thought about it. I'm like, nigga, you ain't about to do all this in my car. I'm like, hey, cuz, get out my car. He's like, man, I shoot this bitch up. So I up my shit like, dog, you want to play? He got the fuck back. I flew off the block. And then it was snow and everything. So I flew off the block, and then I started talking to her, and she like, yeah, last week he broke my face. She had to get her bone under her eye, something broke again, so it can heal right. And then I looked back at her. She had like some dark purplish eyes, and she looked like older, but she seemed like she was young. And I was just talking to her, and she was like, her family want her to press charges. Her family love her, but she was like, he told her if she pressed charges, he was gonna shoot up her family house. And then she was saying like how she was mad he wouldn't give her none, and he started punching her in the back of the head. That shit was just like depressing. And I'm just saying, like, that's why I don't feel comfortable helping women when I be seeing women be getting beat up in the street, because it's something. Outside of a situation, if I see like a dude trying to get on a woman and she's like, I'm good, if he fire off on her, I get in that. But other than that, I don't mind my business.
I mean, I don't think nothing wrong with it. Now, I do think when you with your boys, whatever the case may be, stuff like that, and you got this one nigga out your group, whatever, that's sitting there, and he flip out or may beat on his woman in front of everybody, and all these niggas sitting around and they saying shit like, all y'all condone this? Like, all y'all go see this y'all nigga?
There's one dude I ain't even gonna lie, I condone it.
This y'all man. Like,
I condone it. One time it's a situation.
How do you
I'm about to say.
How do you sit there as a man? How do you sit there with all your men, all your niggas sitting there, and your man's flip out and get the beating on his girl, and all y'all sitting there, and everybody's just sitting there like, damn, like just chilling. Like,
one guy I know, he like relationships like that, and they be hitting him, and he be hitting them. It's just like weird. I be like, I don't know why you like this type of shit, and he be like whoopty whoop and all this. This nigga, look, I'm about to tell you. One day I took him to a chick house, and I'm sitting outside. I'm just sitting in the car chilling, listening to some music. I don't know what I was listening to, but I wanted one of her little sisters. But I'm just chilling. Cuz got on some Gucci fucking shoes and a suit. I hear a loud commotion. So I get out the car. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm strapped up. Lock the car up, go in the house. Buzz me in. Chick buzz me in. I goes upstairs. Her dad is in the house. His lady isn't even there. He choked up one of the friends. Because she started talking back. And then the dad like, hey, can you go get your friend? I'm like, my nigga, you the dad. Like, who the fuck beat his ass? I'm trying to get over. There was his house. Like, let a dude come over and choke one of Jada's friends. I'm beating the shit out of him.
Okay, true.
You feel me? And how he came in. This nigga climbed up to the second floor. I don't know how.
That's some creepy,
on
weird
the balcony
shit.
And came through the balcony.
He's a creep.
Yes. And they was
why is he a friend?
Cause he a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a creep. He's a creep.
She liked that relationship.
He's a creep.
She was in that relationship.
He's a creep.
They had a long-term relationship.
I know what you're talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
He's a creep.
Yeah.
He is a creep. Okay?
Man, that shit threw me through a loop. So I'm sitting there like, I'm like, y'all look, and you know what I told them? I'm like, y'all know how he is. Why would y'all let him in? They was like, we didn't let him in. He climbed up the balcony. I'm like, how? He got on some Gucci's
and he
a
climbed
suit.
Up the balcony.
I thought they was on. So I'm in the kitchen flirting with this one sister, eating some cookies. She baked some cookies. And then I got to wrestle with this nigga. My body hurt from wrestling with him previously when he was just fighting his cousin. So I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? So I end up getting him out. I'm like, it's on y'all if y'all let him back in. So the next time they locked the balcony door, he was beating on the balcony door. But I seen him climb up that shit.
That's some crazy
and I was like, what the fuck? And they had that type of relationship.
That's still crazy.
It is.
That's some crazy shit.
But the women be liking that shit. They be blowing his shit out.
That's some crazy shit.
I never seen him hit a woman outside of when he choked that friend. And that shit was weird.
That's some weird shit.
But I never sat in the house with a dude beating on a woman. But the first time I seen a dude beat on a woman, it was after I think I seen what love got to do with it. And I knew it was wrong from watching that movie. It felt bad. Like, the movie was so fucking good. Like, as a kid, you think that shit real. Like, I knew Angela Bassett was in Boys in the Hood, but you couldn't tell me she wasn't Tina Turner. Like, look, she played Tina Turner, but like when you actually see the real Tina Turner, she moved like the real Tina Turner.
She did.
You know what I'm saying?
She definitely did.
I don't think, I feel like Lawrence Fishburne did a phenomenal job. Could nobody do a better job than Lawrence Fishburne? But he didn't mimic Ike.
Yeah.
Angela mirrored Tina to the T.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Lawrence Fishburne did a phenomenal job. I don't think nobody could have did a better job than him. But I felt like that shit was real. So one day I'm sitting on the porch with my uncle. I never seen my uncle hit a woman. He said he used to have to slam women, but to get them off him. But my uncle, I never seen my uncle hit a woman ever in my life. I never heard a story, none of that. My uncle had hoes. Probably still got the hoes. So this situation, me and my uncle sitting on the porch, and there's one of my older cousins. I used to call my cousin uncle because him and my pops used to be together so much. I thought he was my pop's brother. So I used to call him uncle. And then next thing you know, this one pretty woman was over, and then he wanted another chick come over, and he told her get in the cab and leave. But his sister was like, I'm gonna leave in a minute. She can ride with me. He like, no, this bitch getting in the cab. She like trying to argue. He grabbed her hair up, threw her in there, and just fucked her up. And me and my uncle sitting on the porch like, damn. And I was like 4 or 5. And that was the first time.
You remember a lot of shit from being little. Like, you could say,
I'm sitting on the
you
porch
would tell me a story right now from when you was 2 years old. Like, how the fuck do you remember some shit like that?
Because I was like really there.
You would tell me a story.
I was witnessing some crazy shit as a kid. I remember the first time I seen a chick like